alone deserves a little checkout at least. There we go. Doesn't that want to capture like that? There we go. That's like really small. I can't full screen it, can I? Bedtime. Bedtime's supposed to be a happy event for a tired child. For me, it was terrifying. That didn't capture any more of that. I wonder if it's because... That's kind of weird. What's up, Lau? How's it going? I might just have to capture it windowed. Yeah, this is weird. Why does RPG Maker stuff kind of have to be such a pain in the ass to capture? The menu screen just worked. Usually that's all you have to worry about. Right? Like, that's capturing fine. Shut down. Bedtime. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't capturing. Bedtime's supposed to be a happy event for a tired child. For me, it was terrifying. While some children might complain about being put to bed before they have finished watching a film or playing their favorite video game, I don't feel good about splitting up that sentence or paragraph right there. Bedtime isn't happy for you if you have to think about work the next day. It's true. Oftentimes, I don't like going to bed. But once I'm asleep, it's like then that's when I'm happy. That's when I don't want to move. When I was a child, nighttime was something to truly fear. Somewhere in the back of my mind, it still is. This is me. Okay, this is one I was expecting. Full of toys and stuff. What do you think? Is this RPG Maker? Poster from a movie. I got it from my brother. I don't like that's all like caps. A table. Definitely RPG Maker. Mr. Teddy. Yeah, I like the colors. It's a bunk bed. I sleep in the top. What do you think this poster is? I can't tell. It's a wolf. I cannot prove that what happened to me was objectively real, but I can swear that what I experienced was genuine horror. A fear which in my life, I'm glad to say, has never been equaled, and I will relate it to you. All now as best I can. See, it's like breaking it up in weird places. All now as best as I can, make of it what you will, but I'll be glad to just get it off my chest. What's up, Max? Flowers. Mom put these here. This is my father. Okay, what? A picture of some mountains. Shoes. Not very interesting. This is my brother's room. He told me yesterday to keep out of that room, and we shared it. What? It's locked. Stupid bro. Strange. I can't remember exactly when it started, but my apprehension soared falling asleep seemed to correspond with my being moved into a room of my own. I guess it's because it's vaguely a text box that's like, you can't really see the box around the text, maybe. That's why they're only limited to like so many letters. This is my mother. Mom told me not to touch her stuff, especially this stuff. Nothing too interesting. A man with a mustache. They live in a weird-ass apartment. I was 8 years old at the time, and until then I had shared a room quite happily with my older brother. As is perfectly understandable for a boy 5 years my senior, my brother eventually wished for a room of his own, and as a result, I was given the room at the back of the house. As my brother was given a new bed, I was given the bunk beds, which we used to share. While I was upset about sleeping on my own, I was excited at the thought of being able to sleep in the top bunk, which seemed far more adventurous to me. What? So where's the door to leave the house? Don't go pulling out too much stuff now. It's bedtime soon. All right, it's bedtime. Already? You see, you'll be sleeping alone for the first time. You excited? This is bizarre so far. Also, fuck. Didn't realize the mouse was just like sitting there. All right, I'm turning off the lights. Good night. Good night. I think the dad was blocking a room plus the way to the door to leave the apartment. Yeah, I guess he was just like making it so you couldn't break things. Chapter 1, Cave. Save? Okay. Is it a frog person? I can't even interact with it. Oh, it's in the tree? What the fuck is going on here? It does look nice, though. For an RPG Maker game. That's called It Moves. I don't know anything about it except that the art looked cool. And it was free. Steam. I'm getting like some Indonesian horror kind of from this too. I don't know about you guys. Like jungle demons, possibly. There's something like that. Whoa. Wait. I just came out of a skull. A pot and some ragged cloth. I wonder what's cooking. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, swampish. It's a Mankey. Clone of Techie's voice? I don't know who that is, but I guess I'll take that as a compliment. How's it going? What's going on everyone else coming in? What's up, Muscles? What the fuck? Is that Gollum? Stalking is such a strong word. I prefer to think of it as intense research on one individual. Like, is that a window? Is that a painting? What the fuck am I looking at? By the way, your missing sock is under your bed with me. Just kidding. It's like, it clashes so much with the art style almost, but it's like it kind of works. cold, unwelcoming breeze comes from the bottom of the stairs. Got nothing else to do. Hello? Did you see that, like, it's like shimmering. Weird mushroom. Looks poisonous. The color palettes kind of remind me of, like, you know, like Darkwood almost, in a tiny, tiny bit. Not the character, but like the backgrounds and stuff. I can appreciate that. I don't know. I think he's just supposed to be the monster that lives under your bed. Maybe that's what that's like kind of implying. If we're dealing with like someone Indonesian horror, might not understand who he's supposed to be. Also, what? Oh, the way up is gone. What are the controls usually for RPG Maker? Just space? Weird mushrooms. Looks poisonous. Is there usually an inventory or like a tab button? Nothing's really working. A purple mushroom. Definitely poisonous. Good sound effects. There's red liquid seeping from the mushroom hat. Have you ever seen that mushroom that like bleeds? What's that mushroom called? Oh, it's so fucking weird looking. I don't even know if I want to show this on stream. Just look up bleeding mushroom. If that could definitely, if what's the phobia for like holes and stuff? Nyctophobia. That could definitely set that off for you. Very, very weird looking. What was that? Did you see that? There was a word on the screen for a second. Trypophobia? What's nyctophobia? Oh! The fuck was that? Little puzzle. The fear of the dark. Oh, that's such a boring one. I mean, it's still spooky, but you know what I mean. Like a phobia that seems rational. Or a little lame. Like the clown phobia one. Clophobia, right? Clolophobia. I don't know, it's like some many-faced demon. It's like a Shura from Final Fantasy IV or whatever. Or whatever religion they stole that from. Move it! Oh, it got me. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or not. Mom, I had a bad dream. Full of toys and stuff. Look, he's got like his pajamas on. What a stupid little kid. The wasn't a dream. You died. Kid. I had a bad dream. Ah, it's too bad, sweetie. I'll be up in a minute. We can eat breakfast together. All right, hurry up. Go change your clothes and I'll be right there. Just wake up the dad, too. No. I know, the fonts are very strange. And the way that the names look, like, that is bizarre to me. I don't know. I do like the sound effects and the tiling and stuff so far, though. The colors are really nice. Yeah, I don't understand that. So another day started. It was a day of little importance to our story. And I won't bother you with details, but one thing I remember is that even though I played with friends like I always did, I somehow still felt lonely. I do like this, though, I think. I didn't enter my new room until later that night. It was time to go to sleep again. Like, the pacing is neat, I think. It's a free game, too, so. Although it seems like a lot of RPG Maker games are usually free, right? I just have to roll myself to sleep. Wow. Labyrinth, Chapter 2. Yeah, good monster is always nice. Nice addition to your story. What the fuck? Man, like a factory? It looks like an old factory of some kind. Warehouse. I like the colors and stuff. And the shading. A certain order. Off was RPG Maker? I have no idea, actually. I'm not super familiar with RPG Maker games, unfortunately. What was the one I played a few months ago? Why can't I fucking remember the name of that one? With the labyrinth? Ah! I was just talking about it the other night. The little girl in the museum one. Moo? Mew? Why is that sticking out in my head? Ib. Or Yib, right? It's pronounced Yib. What's that? Oh. Hello. Hello there. I can't believe Earthbound was made in RPG Maker. It's crazy. What? What's it say? Anacorp? Some kind of machinery. So I have a lot of those games I should play at some point. Or, another one that people recommended was like The Witches something. Oh shit, there's like a Shadow Man. Poster for some concert. It looks old. Ventilation, maybe? The air is still stuffy, though. A poster for some... so. That sound effect. Is it becoming more... It's definitely more red now. What am I missing? Nothing of interest, I think. That looks like a cocoon. Ventilation. There it is. Instructions on how to use a fire extinguisher. What the hell's going on? Oh. When you awaken from a deep sleep to something moving or stirring, it can take a few moments for you to truly understand what is happening. The fog of sleep hangs over your eyes and ears, even when lucid. Something was moving. There's no doubt about that. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. Everything was dark, almost pitch black. But there was enough light creeping in from outside to outline that room. Two thoughts appeared in my mind almost simultaneously. The first was that my parents were in bed, because the rest of the house lay both in darkness and in silence. The second thought turned to the noise, a noise which had obviously woken me. That was it. Bedsheets rustling in the dark and someone breathing. As if some disturbed sleeper was attempting to get in, all comfortable at the bottom bunk. I lay there in disbelief, thinking about the noise that was either my imagination or perhaps just my pet cat finding somewhere comfortable to spend the night. It was then that I noticed my door shut as it had been as I'd fallen asleep. It was then that I noticed my door. Wait. This sentence is fucking weird. It was then that I noticed my door, comma, shut as it had been as I'd fallen asleep. That doesn't make sense, right? Perhaps my mom had checked in on me and the cat had sneaked into my room then. I don't know. I can't process that for some reason. Yes, that must have been it. I turned to face the wall, closing my eyes and the vain hope that I could fall back to sleep. As I moved, the rustling noise from underneath me ceased. I thought that I must have disturbed my cat. But quickly I realized that the visitor in the bottom bunk was much less mundane than my pet trying to sleep, and much more sinister. As if alerted to and disgruntled by my presence, the disturbed sleeper began to toss and turn violently, like a child having a tantrum in their bed. What? I could hear the sheets twist and turn with increasing ferocity. Fear then gripped me, not like the subtle sense of unease I experienced earlier, but now potent and terrifying. My heart raced as my eyes panicked, scanning the almost impenetrable darkness. I let out a cry. As most young boys do, I instinctively shouted on my mother. I could hear something stir on the other side of the house, but as I began to breathe a sigh of relief that my parents were coming to save me, the bunkheads beside suddenly started to shake violently as if gripped by an earthquake, scraping against the wall. Yeah, the commas. I could hear the sheets below me thrashing around as if tormented by malice. I did not want to jump down to safety as I feared the thing in the bottom bunk would reach out and grab me, pulling me into the darkness, so I stayed there, white-knuckled, clenching on my own blanket like a shroud of protection. Unrelenting force! The wait seemed like an eternity. What's wrong? Did you have a bad dream? I cried and my mother consoled me. Tears of fear. My mother turned me into a console. Turned me into an Xbox. Tears of fear, followed by relief, streamed down my face. Yet, through all of the horror and relief, I did not tell her why I was so upset. I cannot explain it, but it was as though whatever had been in that bunk would return if I even so much as spoke of it. Whether that was the truth, I do not know. But as a child, I felt as if that unseen menace remained close, listening. Consona. No, that's not. That's not. My mother lay in the empty bunk, promising to stay there until morning. I remember that next day wanting to go anywhere, be anywhere, but in that suffocating room. It was Saturday. It was a Saturday, and I played outside quite happily with my friends. Although our house was not large, we were lucky to have a long, sloping garden in the back. We played there often, as much as it was overgrown and we could hide in the bushes, climb in the huge sycamore tree which towered above all else, and easily imagine ourselves in the throes of a grand adventure. As fun as it was, occasionally my eye would turn to the small window in my room. Ordinary, slight, and innocuous. But for me, that thin boundary was a looking glass into a shrine. A strange, cold pocket of dread. Yeah, I thought that the throws... I was like, questioning that for a second. I was like, well... they're kind of close. But yeah, like, the throws, not... the throes of your adventure. Outside, the lush garden, or the lush green surroundings of our garden filled with the smiling faces of my friends. Inside, the feelings of something in that room, watching me play, waiting for the night when I would be alone, eagerly filled with hate. It may sound strange to you, but by the time my parents ushered me back into that room for the night, I said nothing. I didn't protest. I didn't even make an excuse as to why I couldn't sleep there. I still felt that this thing would be enraged if I so much as spoke of it. Another night came. Factorized. I don't know about these chapter names. Alright, that's fucking awesome looking. Oh, there's saves. Oh yeah, we did save. I don't know what that is, really. It's like a giant skull in like a museum or something like that. Looks fucking cool though. A banner on a long pole is too old and torn to make out the details. The door is firmly shut. A huge skull. Ah. Same room. We're gonna do this now. It's getting all spooky. Is anyone seeing any other differences, really? Just like the colors, the lighting? Yeah, just his eyes. But that would be why the lighting is getting different, too, I guess. This is an RPG Maker game, yeah. I keep trying to use wads. Every time there's like a break. A large fan circulating the stuffy air. A lot of factories, too. Which is actually good. Some kind of machine. Look at that star. It's perfectly fine. Looks almost like the lights on the runway at airports. What? Why would that be there? Did it say hello on the floor? I didn't see it. How? The music is kind of weird. There's something happening in the background. Picture of some kind of green landscape. The picture is in too bad shape to make out any details. Hey, what's up, Nexie? I feel like I've heard that sampled in like songs before. Looks like something used to pour out of these. Why would they be in the factory, you think? Like marking like heavy machinery? Like a loading bay or something like that? Yeah, it definitely looks like some blood is pouring out of those. Oh. I don't know if I was supposed to be able to do that. Yeah, there's definitely some strange song playing. I have no clue what to do here. Oh, it's like lighting up. I'm not sure what I found that made that get brighter, though. Tried to make mac and cheese and it turned into Alfredo? How'd that happen? You need an egg. You need an egg for that, don't you? Did you go down yet? I don't know. I love Alfredo, but one time someone was like, yeah, dude, just eggs. And they're kind of right. I mean, everything's blocked off by like spikes. I've got to be missing something here. All these different lights, some kind of altar. So there's 4 lights there. There's 4 lights over here. Doesn't do anything there. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Supposed to hop on those? There's definitely a button back there, though, too. Mic glitch? Really? What did it do? Let me make sure. It was only for an instant. Really weird. Hope it doesn't happen again. It's weird that it would have peaked though for no reason. Go left at the top. Yeah, it does say hello there, actually. I didn't pick up on that last time. I did not go that way. What an idiot. Yeah, well, let me know if it does that again. Because it does seem like there's been some weird glitches with that. Oh. Those look like they're all still up. Here we go. Are you? How are you? Written in blood. Sanity effects. There you go. Hello, how are you? A creepy mask. Uh-oh. Here he comes. Who is he? Who that? I can't get through. So I did that one. My eyes were failing me. The mask was on the floor. Oh, I'm just shooting blood out. There's a red liquid pouring out. It's just a factory. It's a marinara sauce factory, okay? Everything's fine. Don't fucking worry about it. Oh, fuck. The fuck is that? Just like it's a good little Lavos sound. Marinara. Why? What's bad with that word? Why don't you like marinara? Oh, dude. What the fuck? Alright, that sound effect was funny, though. I heard the Doug funny sound effect for a second. I thought it was like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Like when he wakes up from a dream, it's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Alright. It's funny how certain words can remain hidden from your mind, no matter how blatant or obvious they are. One word came to me that night, lying there in the darkness, alone, frightened, aware of a rotten change in the atmosphere. A thickening of the air as if something had displaced it. I came here for the horror games and Doug references. Well, you're at the right place. I'm glad that I'm known for that. You broke my marinara factory? A thickening of the air as if something had displaced it. As I heard the first casual twists of the bed sheets below, the first anxious increase of my heartbeat at the realization that something was once again in the bottom bunk. That word. A word which had been sent into exile, filtered up through my consciousness, breaking free of all repression, gasping for air, screaming, etching, and carving itself into my mind. Ghost. As this thought came to me, I noticed that my unwelcome visitor had ceased moving. The bed sheets, the butt cheeks lay calm and dormant, but they had been replaced by something far more hideous. A slow, rhythmic, rasping breath heaved and escaped from the thing below. I could imagine its chest rising and falling with each sordid, wheezing, and garbled breath. I shuddered and hoped beyond all hope. that it would leave without occurrence. The house lay, as it had the previous night, in a thick blanket of darkness. Silence prevailed, all but for the perverted breath of my as-yet unseen bunkmate. I lay there terrified. I just wanted this thing to go, to leave me alone. What did it want? Then something unmistakably chilling transpired. It moved. It moved in a way different from before. When it threw itself around in the bottom bunk, it seemed unrestrained, without purpose, almost animalistic. For that thing lying there in the darkness, that thing that which seemed intent on terrorizing a young boy, calmly and nonchalantly sat up. Its labored breathing had become louder. Now only a mattress and a few flimsy wooden slats separated my body from the unearthly breath below. I lay there, my eyes filled with tears. A fear which mere words cannot relate to you or anyone else coursed through my veins. I would not have believed that this fear could have been heightened, but I was so wrong. I imagined what this thing would look like, sitting there, listening from below my mattress, hoping to catch the slightest hint that I was awake. Imagination that then turned into an unnerving reality. It began to touch the wooden slats that my mattress sat on. It seemed to caress them carefully, running what I imagined to be fingers and hands across the surface of the wood. Then, with great force, it prodded angrily between the two slats into the mattress. Even through the padding, it felt as though someone had viciously stuck their fingers into my side. I let out an almighty cry, and the wheezing, shaking, and moving thing in the bunk below replied in kind by violently vibrating the bunk as it had done the night before. Small flakes of paint powdered onto my blanket from the wall as the frame of the bed scraped along it, backwards and forwards. Once again, I was bathed in light, and there stood my mother, loving, caring as she always was, with a comforting hug and calming words, which eventually subdued my hysteria. Of course, she asked me what was wrong, but I could not say. I dared not say. I simply said one word over and over and over again. Nightmare. Why wouldn't you just say someone fucking touched you? Looks like the Tarkov light bulb. This pattern of events continued for weeks, if not months. Night after night, I would awaken to the sound of rustling sheets. Each time I would scream so as not to provide this abomination with time to prod and feel. With each cry, the bed would shake violently, stopping with the arrival of my mother, who would spend the rest of the night in the bottom bunk, seemingly unaware of the sinister force torturing her son nightly. Along the way, I managed to feign illness a few times and come up with other less than truthful reasons for sleeping in my parents' bed. But more often than not, I would be alone for the first few hours of each night in that place. The room where the light from outside did not sit right. Alone with that thing. With time, you can become desensitized to almost anything, no matter how horrific. I had come to realize that, but for whatever reason, this thing could not harm me when my mother was present. I'm sure the same would have been said for my father, but as loving as he was, waking him from sleeping was almost impossible. Waking me, on the other hand, was no trouble at all, thanks to the nightmares. The nightmares? Yeah, it's definitely unhealthy for someone not to do that, but at the same time, it's like, at least it's someone who cares about the child. I can't move. There we go. Earthquake? A hook hangs from the wall. A piece of meat hangs to dry from it. painted glass depicts some religious man, I guess. I like this music, I think. It's a nice touch with a reflection on the ground. The painted glass depicts a scene from the Bible. What scene? I can't tell. A bird? Can't tell what it is. It's a swan getting eaten. What? What the fuck? Yeah, I love this art. Various jars with disgusting stuff inside. It's like all fetuses and shit. Aliens. Another one. Look at those heads. Yeah, let me get a pickled child skull. Some mozzarella. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, the imagery has been really cool so far. That is a neat scene. I love that. Go, it's Evangelia, bro! This just came out like the other day. This is a free game on Steam. It's an RPG Maker game. I think it came out like the 21st, maybe? The spider that lives in this net is nowhere to be seen. That was weird. It brought him all the way back there. Looks like a map. A faded old picture. You jamming? What is this? Will you not look at this fucking... It looks like a dead rat or an intestines or something like that. Yeah, this is a jam. The fuck was that sound effect? I'm in jail. Yeah, or dead cats, maybe. Oh no. Oh. Hello. What the fuck? They're like dolls. I really like this so far. Yeah, I heard, I did hear like a weird like portal sound effect. Like some kind of magical thing happening that I've heard in other video games. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You can't go back the other way. Wonder what I'm missing here. Just keeps bringing me back. You keep bringing me back in. Oh. It's getting weirder. Music is getting spooky. No, I don't like the baby's crying noises, dude. That's like such a cheap, spooky sound. That's the #1 reason why I hate Revolution #9. Fucking hate that song. Come on. Shut up, baby. I'm the one playing the game. Oh, babies! Oh, they look like Freddy Freaker. I kind of want to get caught by them. Oh, I guess I'm going to be. No, the babies! My greatest fears were realized in the winter. Sorry, I was just looking at something real quick. What is this music? Oh, shit. My greatest fears were realized in the winter. I hit enter and it just like put another space in chat. My cursor was still in chat. The days grew short and the longer nights were merely provided this wretch with more opportunities. It was a difficult time for my family. Oh, she's coming in and out and just like sleeping in his fucking bunk bed with him. Yikes. This sucks. My grandmother, a wonderfully kind and gentle woman, had deteriorated greatly since the death of my grandfather. My mother was trying her best to keep her in the community as long as possible. However, dementia is a cruel and degenerative illness, robbing a person of their memories one day at a time. But now we're just talking about this? Soon she recognized none of us, and it became clear that she would need to be moved from her house to a nursing home. Before she could be moved, my grandmother had a few particularly difficult nights. My mother decided that she would stay with her. As much as I loved my grandmother and felt nothing but anguish at her illness, to this day I feel guilty that my first thoughts were not of her, but what my nightly visitor might do should it become aware of my mother's absence. I see. It just seemed like they were adding like another layer to the game all of a sudden. I was like kind of confused, but that's why it affects the main story. Her presence being the one thing which I was sure was protecting me from the full horror of this thing's reach. I rushed home from school that day and immediately wrenched the bed sheets and mattress from the lower bunk, removing all the slats and placing an old desk, a chest of drawers, and some chairs which we kept in the cupboard where the bottom bunk used to be. I told my father I was making an office, which he found adorable. But I would be damned if I'd give that thing a place to sleep for one more night. As darkness approached, I lay there knowing my mother was not in the house. I did not know what to do. My only impulse was to sneak into her jewelry box and take a small family crucifix which I had seen in there before. While my family was not very religious, at the age I believed in God and hoped that somehow this would protect me. Although fearful and anxious, while gripping the crucifix under my pillow tightly in one hand, sleep eventually came, and as I drifted off into dreams, I hoped that I would awaken in the morning without incidents. Unfortunately, that night was the worst. Most terrifying of all. But it's the worst. Did you hear that? It was like part of the song. Urban Explorer. We got an urban exploring chapter. Nice. It's all the rage right now. Again, though, this art. It says, woof. A poster for a play. Stacks of notebooks. Just says, woof. We got a remix. What are these, just desks? Yeah. A bunch of school books. The feeling that something's invading your privacy, even without ill will, is still disturbing. Do you hear that? Fuck was that? You are good. My God. That's fucking awesome. You are good. Yeah, that was. It sounded like Homer, I think. I really like that. Even if you don't know why they are here, you hold the greatest amount of fear for them. Homer? A stack of comic books. I know. It's a triceratops. Look at the pie signs. What does that mean? An old picture of what seems to be a religious man and a woman. Damn it, malware bites. Is it just a bathtub? A bathtub in the middle of the classroom. Okay. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Okay. Who doesn't want to take a bath while they're in class? The sounds of screams are awful. They're even worse when they're your own. The newspaper article is too aged to read. Hi. A big filing cabinet. Various books that look like they would be hard to read. A writing desk with some school material on it. I was trying to see if the song does anything weird for a second. I think it's just ambience though. A writing desk with some school material on it. That was definitely Homer. A pile of mattresses, dirty and worn out. Bathing glass. There's a piece of paper here. It reads, knock, knock. Hello? Remember when the guy was outside the window? That was weird. Marge? Oh, me. What? Speak of the devil. I can't get out that door. It like doesn't line up. Oh, you had to like slide it all the way. Yeah, that was some good timing. Dino room. There are various school rules printed here. I want to know some of the rules. What? Is that a cow being ridden by an anteater? What the fuck is that? Is it like a... What does it mean? Maybe you're just to like get over here. That one just like stopped moving. I think that's supposed to be a stage. Also, I do hear the audio like crackling a little bit. But it just looks like stacks of pancakes, doesn't it? I hear something like crackling. Must be the audio for this part. The lock on the door is broken. I don't think I can get in here. Marge? Apparently malware bytes found threats. My computer. Oh god. I'm gonna just quarantine this shit real quick. Guess what folder that had to be quarantined? No, it just like was random shit. But one of them was in Russian, the words. I was like, well, that means something good. Definitely from a video game I played. A busted old machine of some sort. Oh, I didn't mean to go down yet. This computer is like way overdue for some like serious maintenance. Not hardware wise, but like I need to do some like house cleaning. My computer, like moving some stuff into storage, removing games that I don't play anymore, cleaning up. There's like 2 years of itch games on one hard drive that's taking up like hundreds and hundreds of gigs now. I just need to go through and like clean everything. Get like, you know, I'm always afraid to like get rid of stuff like that though, in case like I want to play it again sometime. Bup, bup. Bam. Yeah, I should start doing a virtual machine for random itch games. It's a good idea, actually. It's been suggested to me before. I'm in the process of building a new computer for streaming, too. I'm just, you know, I'm left on the 2 more expensive parts, but I'm just going to wait a few months to pick up the rest. It's not imperative right now. This computer is fine for streaming, but... Well, I use malware bytes, but I don't really use any other crazy shit other than like Defender and stuff. Yeah, we got some screams. Yeah, that did sound like Goofy. I used to love Combo Fix on Windows 7. I would just run that anytime I had a problem with something. And that doesn't work on Windows 10 though. This is obviously like a go the right way puzzle. I have no... Maybe I have to go backwards through one of these. Is this the way I came in? The fuck? Well, usually Itch is pretty good about games with viruses on their service and stuff like that. Or in the comments, someone will be like, don't fucking download this. This is garbage. Are you okay? No? You're gonna be all right? That was just like a dinosaur sound. Okay. What the fuck is this? Is that a robot? Are those meat cubes? It's like we brought you presents, and the wrapping paper is meat. He's getting on the fucking... Oh my god. Oh, I didn't talk to the robot. Sacrifice the child. Sacrifice the child. You're awfully quiet nowadays. Is there something wrong, son? Nothing. Are you sure? Is there something wrong with your new room? Are you lonely without your brother? No. All right, then. I woke gradually. The room was once again dark. As my eyes adjusted, I could gradually make out the window and the door and the walls, some of the toys on a shelf, and even to this day, I shudder to think of it, for there was no noise. No rustling of sheets, no movement at all. The room felt lifeless. Lifeless, yet not empty. The nightly visitor, that unwelcome, wheezing, hate-filled thing which had terrorized me night after night, was not in the bottom bunk. It was in my bed. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. Utter terror had shaken the very sound from my voice. I lay motionless. If I could not scream, I didn't want to let it know I was awake. I had not seen it. I could only feel it. Boom, boom. It was obscured under my blanket. I could see its outline. I could feel its presence, but I dared not look. The weight of it pressed down on top of me, a sensation I will never forget. When I say that hours passed, I did not exaggerate. Laying there motionless in the darkness, I was every bit a scared and frightened young boy. If it had been during the summer months, it would have been light by then. But the grasp of winter is long and unrelenting, and I knew it would be hours before sunrise. A sunrise which I yearned for. I was a timid child by nature, but I was reaching a breaking point. A moment where I could wait no more, where I could survive under this intimately deviant abomination no longer. Fear can sometimes wear you out, make you threadbare. A shell of nerves leaving only the slightest trace of you behind. I had to get out of that bed. Then I remembered the crucifix. My hand still lay underneath the pillow, but it was empty. I slowly moved my wrist around to find it, minimizing as best I could the sound and vibrations caused, but it could not be found. I had either knocked it off the top bunk or I could not even bear to think of it. Been taken from my hand. Without the crucifix, I had lost any sense of hope. Even at such a young age, you can be acutely aware of, I didn't see what that says, and intensely frightened of it. I knew I was going to die in that bed if I lay there dormant, passive, doing nothing. I had to leave that room behind, but how? Should I leap from the bed and hope that I make it to the door? What if it's faster than me? Or should I slowly slip out of the top bunk, hoping not to disturb my uncanny bedfellow? Realizing that it had not stirred when I moved, trying to find the crucifix, I began to have the strangest of thoughts. Abyss. I used to get sleep paralysis all the time when I was a kid. It was really bad. I don't think I really get it anymore. It's like I would never wish that on anyone. That's like the worst thing in the world. Where am I? Am I fish? I'm a kid fish. What the fuck? Oh no, I'm just a kid. I thought I was a fish. I think I'm just a kid. I love the way this looks. You know what this reminds me of right now? EVO. Anyone play that game ever? It's one of my favorites for Super Nintendo. I really love the way this looks, though. It's like the first chapter of EVO. Now it's like aliens. What the fuck is that? Is that seriously an alien spaceship? What the fuck? There's people floating. Is that an Earthbound sound? Is this Earthbound music? Like, slow down? No. Drain the water and remove the diving gear? Okay. What the fuck? Are those kids in like containment units? Read the logbook. Captain Theodore Fielding, September 2nd, 2007. One of my biggest fears is deep water. Ironic when you consider the fact that I am now working on a mining station thousands of feet underwater in the Mariana Trench. I've always wondered why I was afraid, and I reached a simple conclusion. The true fear presented here is actually going down beneath the surface into the depths. It's a combination of all your most common fears. The fear of the dark. When you're at the bottom of the water, you can't see anything. It's pitch black. Have you ever tried to swim as far down in a lake as you can? It gets really dark and very cold, about 10 feet down. But even that's nothing compared to the deepest point on the entire crust of the Earth. Located at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench is located at 38,000 feet below the Pacific Ocean. If you put Mount Everest at the bottom of the trench, the top of the mountain would still be over a mile below the surface of the ocean. Everything below you is complete darkness. And this definitely plays into our collective fear of the dark. Do you know that there's a moon of Saturn that is like... Which moon is it? Is it Europa, the one that's ice ocean? The ocean is like... It's like so much more deeper than... I don't know, it's just like weird to imagine that. There's an ocean that's deeper than ours. In our solar system. Like with the... You know, there's probably nothing in it, but what the fuck could be down there? Fear of suffocating. We ever gotten to the point where you swam too far down in the swimming pool and you seriously considered the fact that you might not make it to the top before you ran out of breath? Have you ever been roughhousing as a kid with blankets and pillows and you accidentally got pinned inside of a sleeping bag or something? And you get to that point where laughter temporarily turns to screaming. You know what a scary concept not being able to breathe is. Even if you have scuba gear with you down in the deep, dark abyss, there's a chance a valve could pop out, or you could run out of oxygen. You can't see, you can't really take a deep breath. Could it get worse? Yes. Fear of the unknown. There are over 1 million species of creatures in the ocean, and scientists estimate there are an additional 9 million species yet to be discovered. That means we only know that what 11% of the creatures in the ocean are. Most of the beings in the ocean are things mankind has never seen or even heard of. Who knows what could be down there? Think about a time while you were walking in a dimly lit basement trying to find something. All of a sudden, something brushes up against the back of your neck and they become airborne. They become airborne, similar to a frightened cat, and instantly turn around and shine their flashlight to see what it was. It's never anything actually scary. But in deep water, it's always something scary. It's dark, you can barely breathe, and something just touched you and you have no idea where they just went. There's more to fear, I'm afraid. 4. Fear of flying insects? What? Imagine that as you're walking along, all of the beetles and scorpions crawling along the ground, the huge black hairy spiders that are hidden from view in the cracks, and the slimy worms and snakes that are burrowed beneath the ground, simultaneously started flying around anywhere they wanted. That's what the bottom of the sea is like without water. That's what the bottom of the sea would be like without water. I was like, what? For the strange creatures underwater, there's no up or down. Even the manliest man, even though they appear to be calm, quickly tense up and become filled with a secret fear that the bug might land on their eyeball or fly into their mouth. And that's why men try so hard to kill them. Unfortunately, in deep water, you can't see any of the undiscovered freakish flying creatures that brush past your body as you grasp at your suffocating throat. Fear of being caught. Imagine that you're running from a bear. You'll be eaten if you're caught, and it doesn't help that bears can run faster sideways than the fastest human can run forwards. When you're at the bottom of the sea, everything that is around you was built to move in water. If something truly frightening, like a shark or a giant I almost said a giant squid caught sight of you, you could turn the other way and flail about all you want, but the monster will catch you in a split second. You can't get away from anything. Even if you had the wherewithal to see and breathe, you couldn't run from danger. It would simply find you and devour you. There are lots of places that I wouldn't want to be, such as trapped in a burning house or alone in the vacuum of space, but in the burning house, at least, I can see, and in space, at least there aren't any creatures that could get me. Psh, you don't know that yet. There are no other places in the universe that combine as many common fears as 7 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. It's because of the combination of all these fears that I am so horrified by deep water. Can you not, dude? What are you talking about? We're in the Marinara Trench, yep. Oh shit. The fucking anglerfish is awesome. I don't know if it'd just be like sitting there, hanging out. What? It's just open? What the fuck? Is that his dad? His dad's just chilling down there in the fucking... It's like the Sarlacc pit or some shit. I guess we're going in. Or not. Oh, we are. That does not look good. What the fuck was that? Why would he swim into that? What if it was asleep? It hadn't so much as breathed since I had woken up. Perhaps it was resting, believing that it finally got me. I swear to God, I keep thinking of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when I hear those sound effects. That I was finally within its grasp, or perhaps it was toying with me after all it had been doing just for that, just for the countless nights. And now with me under it, pinned against my mattress with no mother to protect me, maybe it was holding off, savoring its victory until the last possible moment, like a wild animal savoring its prey. I tried to breathe as shallowly as possible, mustering every ounce of courage I could. I reached over slowly with my right hand and began to peel the blanket off of me. What I found under those covers almost stopped my heart. I did not see it, but as my hand moved to the blanket, it brushed against something. Something smooth and cold. Something which felt unmistakably like a gaunt hand. I held my breath in terror as I was sure it must now have known I was awake. Nothing. Did not stir. It felt dead. After a few moments, I placed my hand carefully down the blanket and felt a thin, poorly formed forearm. My confidence and almost twisted sense of curiosity grew as I moved down further, disproportionately larger bicep muscle. The arm was outstretched, lying across my chest with the hand resting on my left shoulder, as if it had grabbed me in my sleep. I realized that I would have to move this cadaverous appendage if I even so much hoped to escape its grasp. For some reason, the feeling of torn, ragged clothing on the shoulder of this nighttime invader stopped me in my tracks. Fear once again swelled in my stomach and my chest as I recoiled my hand in disgust at the touch of straggled, oily hair. I could not bring myself to touch its face, although I wondered to this very day what it would have felt like. Dear God, it moved! Is this the same nightmare? It's the same night? Hostia? Bling. What? Oh. Hey. Tetsuo? Is that a clock? Like, what are those cages on the wall? Oh, we're going in. Music feels a little out of place. What's up, dude? The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Oh, 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 oh. I like that. Is that a Dr. Wily fucking machine? This game's called It Moves. What the fuck? Prequel to It Follows. Hold on, I gotta get a drink too now. All right. Where are those? Oh, there's like little faces. Yeah, the art is great. I really love the art style. What the fuck? And having once chosen never to seek to return to the crossroads of that decision, for even if one chooses wrongly, the choice cannot be unmade. At a crossroads in life, what does one do? Stand at the crossroads if you will, but if you will not choose, I'll move on without you. Fuck. So I gotta pick which way to go here. Can't pick him up. What the fuck? What are you doing? It moved. It was subtle, but its grip on my shoulder and across my body strengthened. No tears came, but my God, I wanted to cry. As his hands and arms slowly coiled around me, my left leg brushed against the cool wall, which the bed lay against. Of all that happened to me in that room, this was the strangest. I realized that this clutching, rancid thing, which drew great delight from violating a young boy's bed, was not entirely on top of me. It was striking out from the wall like a spider striking from its lair. Suddenly, its grip moved from a slow tightening to a sudden squeeze. It pulled and clawed at my clothes as if right to pass. Fought against it, but its emaciated arm was too strong for me, and its head rose up, writhing and contorting under the blanket. I now realized where it was taking me. Into the wall! I fought for my dear life and cried, and suddenly my voice returned to me, yelling and screaming, but no one came. Then I suddenly realized why I was so eager to strike, why this thing had to have me now. Through my window, that window which seemed to represent so much malice from outside, streaked hope. The first rays of sunshine. I struggled further, knowing that if I could just hold on, it would soon be gone. As I fought for my life, the unearthly parasite shifted, slowly pulling itself up from my chest, its head now poking out from under the blanket, wheezing, coughing, and rasping. I do not remember its features. I simply remember its breath against my face, foul and as cold as ice. As the sun broke over the horizon, that dark place, that suffocating room of contempt was washed and bathed in sunlight. I passed out as its scrawny fingers encircled my neck, squeezing the very life from me. I woke to my father offering to make me some breakfast. A wonderful sight indeed. I had survived the most horrible experience of my life until then. And now, I moved the bed from the wall, leaving behind the furniture I believed would stop that thing from taking a bed. Little did I think that it would try to take mine and me. Weeks passed without incident, yet on one cold, frostbitten night, I awoke to the sound of the furniture where the bunk beds used to be, vibrating violently. I lay there, sure I could hear a distant wheezing coming from deep within the wall, finally fading into the distance. The following year, I was given a larger room on the other side of my house. My parents took that room as their bedroom. They said they didn't need a large room, just one big enough for a bed and a few things. They lasted 10 days. We moved on the 11th. So the same thing happened to his parents when they moved into there, he's saying? What? I don't know about that ending, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was like really happening. Like that room was cursed or whatever. Wow. I thought that would have been way shorter, to be fair. Yeah, bad end. We got cursed. The art style was amazing, though. There's some really cool monsters in there. The story wasn't my favorite. The game, the story of the thing in the bed was a no sleep story. The game was based around it. That's awesome, actually. I thought it was going to be like an Indonesian demon or something like that. Yeah, it was good. And this is a free game on Steam, by the way. Hold on, let me see if I have the link. Yeah. Check it out. I'd recommend it. All I really saw was the art in the Steam trailer, and I was like, yeah, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Stretch it out. What's this little face down here? Who's that guy? Who's that? I hit enter and he went away. Oh, it's just that. It's the text box. No, it was a ghost. Yeah, that was a cool little RPG Maker game. Definitely always open to games like that if anyone has any suggestions too and they want to drop off sometime. Because most of those are free, so there's no reason to not check them out if they have a cool story to go along with it.